We've brought the immersive experience of apps on the iPad to the Mac, and we provided a great new way to work with apps in full screen. I'm going to demonstrate by opening a PDF. So here we have Preview open with a PDF. Looks nice. But now, because in Lion full screen is integrated, I can click on a standard control, and it sweeps open into a gorgeous full screen view, facing pages view. When I'm in here, I then can use gestures to move between the pages of the PDF. Really convenient. But what's really great about full screen in Lion is that I don't have to leave full screen if I want to go work on something else. I can do a simple multi-touch gesture on my mouse or trackpad, and I'm right back at my desktop. And when I want to get back to that full screen app, I just gesture back. Super simple. Let's take another app full screen, in this case, iPhoto. Now, Phil demonstrated earlier that iPhoto has this fantastic full screen experience. I can now get to it with a standard control. I'm now in full screen iPhoto. And this is how I'll probably want to work in this app all the time. But if I want to get back to my preview document, I just flick. Want to get back to my desktop? Same thing. And we've even made Dashboard accessible in the same way. So flick to the left of my desktop, and I have access to all of my widgets. Super simple. Now, of course, as a Mac user, I also love working with Windows. So I'm going to bring, and I mean Windows, not Windows. So I'm going to open up some windows. We have App Store here. I'm going to open up the App Store, Safari, iCal, iTunes, and let's say a Pages document here. So I can, of course, flick between these different experiences here like this, and that's really convenient. But we've made it even better. What we've done is unified Windows, full screen apps, Dashboard, and even Spaces into a single place, a place where you can get at anything on your Mac from wherever you are. And we call that place Mission Control. I'm going to take you there right now. With a gesture on my trackpad, I enter Mission Control. We see I have a beautiful expose view of all of my windows. Across the top here, I get my full screen apps, my dashboard, and my desktop. And along the bottom, my dock, so I can get at all my apps. With a click, I can get to anywhere. If I want to get to iPhoto, I just click, and I'm taken right there. With a gesture, I'm back in Mission Control. I can go to Preview and back, or back to my desktop. Super simple. And because we have this great expose, if I'm looking for a window and it's covered up in my desktop clutter, I can go to that same place. So let's say I want to find that App Store window. I can just flick in, and you see there's App Store right there, and it's clustered by app, so it's really easy to find. I click, and it comes forward. Now, we've made expose even better in Lion because these app clusters take multiple windows from the same app and bring them together. And then if I want to peek and see a particular window, maybe to get a better look before picking my particular Safari window, I just flick open. I can pick the window I want and bring it right to the front. So that is Mission Control, and that's your sneak peek of just a few features coming in OS X Lion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Craig. We're really excited about Lion. We think bringing some of these things back to the Mac and coming up with some very fresh new things like Mission Control is going to really delight Mac users. So again, a whole new way of getting apps with the App Store, of finding and launching apps with Launchpad, being able to work in full screen and move between full screen apps effortlessly, and then moving back to your Windows, and, of course, Mission Control. And again, I wish we had another hour and a half to show you more, but we'll unveil this over time as we get closer to releasing it. Our plan is to release Lion this summer, summer 2011. And we are on schedule for that. We're feeling real good about it. So that is Mac OS X Lion. Now, I want to go back and talk for a minute about the App Store. The Mac App Store is we think, going to be really great for our users. and we don't want to wait for Lion. So we've decided that we're going to put out the Mac App Store on Snow Leopard, and we're going to open it within 90 days. The Mac App Store is going to open within 90 days from today, and developers can go to our website and learn all about it today, and we are going to be accepting app submissions from developers in November. That's next month for the store that's going to open within 90 days. So we're very excited about that. And that is Lion, the App Store opening with 90 days. And again, back to the Mac. Let me review some of the things we talked about today. Tim took us through the state of the Mac. The Mac is a third of our revenue. We pay a lot of attention to it. We love the Mac. We're investing heavily in the Mac. It's a $22 billion business, which if it was a standalone business, would be a rather large business in the Fortune 500. Our retail market share has topped 20% for the first time in a long while. And we continue to invest in our retail stores. We couldn't be happier with the performance of them and how they're bringing more and more people into the Mac tent. iLife 11, phenomenal new applications. iPhoto 11, full screen mode, better books, all new letterpress cards. iMovie 11, you can imagine how we're all going to use this. And GarageBand, giving those millions and millions of GarageBand users even cooler things they can do now with their compositions and in learning how to play instruments. FaceTime on Mac, so that the tens of millions of Mac users can now FaceTime with our mobile devices. We think this is going to be very popular. And Lion, coming this summer with amazing features like Mission Control, the Launchpad, and the App Store, and with the App Store opening within 90 days from today. So these are the things that we wanted to share with you today. We're really excited about them. But there is one more thing. And that one more thing really comes back to our theme for today, which is back to the Mac. You know, we talked about this virtuous circle with Mac OS X helping to create iOS for our devices, that maturing, being on the iPod as well, and now being inspired by that, bringing some of that back to Mac OS X. But just like that philosophy has some benefit in our software, it can also have some benefit in our hardware. What would happen if a MacBook met an iPad? There's a lot to be inspired about there as well. Well, what are some of those things? An iPad has Instant On. Right? That's pretty rare for a notebook. Great battery life. Amazing standby time. 30-day standby time. Solid-state storage. So there's no optical or hard drives. And it's thinner and lighter, which means it's even more mobile. These are some great things for notebooks. And so we asked ourselves, what would happen if a MacBook and an iPad hooked up? Well, this is the result. It's one of the most amazing things we've ever created. It is our new MacBook Air, and we think it's the future of notebooks. We're really excited about this. It is gorgeous. Let me just show you a few beautiful shots of it. It's like nothing we've ever created before, and it's really stunning. And it's really small. It's amazingly thin. At its thickest point, it is 0.68 inches thin. At its thickest point. And it tapers down to just 0.11 inches at its thinnest point. That's 1/10 of an inch. And it weighs just 2.9 pounds. Now, it's hard enough to build something thin, but we also want our products to be rigid and durable. And so the new MacBook Air is complete unibody construction. Complete aluminum unibody construction. It's pretty amazing. It's got a full-size keyboard and a full-size glass trackpad. These are areas where you do not want to sacrifice. So let me tell you a bit about it. The first thing is it's got a 13.3-inch LED backlit display, and it's a high-res display, 1440 by 900 pixels. This is more pixels than are on our 15-inch notebook today. More pixels than on the 15-inch MacBook Pro. It's got a Core 2 Duo processor, which is a fast processor for this class of machine, and great graphics, great NVIDIA GeForce graphics. Full-size keyboard, full-size multi-touch trackpad, and a FaceTime camera. Now, just as interesting as what it's got is what it doesn't have. There is no optical drive, and there is no hard drive. We have gone to flash storage, complete solid-state storage. Now, why do we do this? Because we know the benefits from the iPad. Instant on. It's up to 2 times faster than hard drives. That's a lot. It's much more reliable, especially in a mobile environment. And it's 90% smaller and lighter. Again, very important in a mobile environment. It also gives you completely silent operation. Now, we know a lot about flash. We've designed it into our iPhones. We've designed it into our iPads. And as you may know, Apple is the largest user of flash memory in the world. So we know a lot about creating flash storage subsystems. Battery life on the new MacBook Air, wireless web tests, 7 hours. Standby, 30 days. 30-day standby time instead of the few days we get with today's notebooks. Now, the wireless web tests as well, the PC